name is Matthew Wood. I go by Woody. And I'd say that I'm a multidisciplinary artist, but mainly focus on collage, construction, painting, painting things like I call biomorphagrams. So I use vintage and dead stock papers to, I guess, construct paintings. I think the materials that I use and the forms that I use, like I referred to, a vintage dead stock paper called Chromorama that was produced in the 60s to the early 80s for layout artists. And at the time of its manufacturing, it was painted by machines. And then I also use dead stock paint swatches. I kind of use them as like a simulated paint, like already painted surfaces. And then when I was living in Manhattan years ago, I started photographing pedestrian shadows. And I've made basically my own language of shapes from the pedestrian shadows that I call biomorphagrams. So those two things in conjunction, the forms with the paper and the cutting and the layering, I think is what makes my work unique. So my art background, I started making art when I was really young. Basically, whenever I could hold a crayon, I've been making work. I went to the Kansas City Art Institute, and then I went to graduate school at NYU. One of my most challenging moments as an artist, it's not something I like to often talk about, but when I started my second year of grad school is when 9/11 happened. I can say like my first year of school was pretty tumultuous, and it was like a very, very tough time for me. Being so far away, being in a new city that I'd never really lived in or been to before. New York's a pretty crazy place. And then have on top of that, you know, one of the most terrifying events that I think most everyone's ever experienced. And at that time, I decided to withdraw from school. And that was a very difficult situation, but I just feel like I needed to kind of find my own way without, under the context of being in school and like world events and things like that. So, you know, it was a very tumultuous time, but I think ultimately really benefited me in the long run as an artist, and I grew tremendously from that. But it took a long time to kind of understand all the, you know, different things that went into that decision and kind of how that played out in my personal life and in my artistic career. What I like most about being an artist and doing what I do is that I'm very free to just be myself and to have fun, you know, which I think is the goal for like most people in life. I think that would be like an ultimate goal, is just to do what you want to do and have fun doing it. Not to say that there aren't challenges and sacrifices within the decision of being an artist, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think I'm very lucky and very humbled to be able to, you know, create and to share what I create with those that are able to see it. Yeah, my social, you can follow me at Woody Matthews on Instagram. That's WOODYMATTHEWS. And let's see, I mean, that's about it. I have a website, is artbywoody.com.